Continues his special report on special effects, making movie magic.
Watch Buyer Beware at 6.
And special effects at 11 tonight on Eyewitness News.
Hello?
Lynn, it's Harold. I'm calling long distance.
What time is it?
2 a.m. your time, sleepyhead.
2 a.m.?
Oh, you wouldn't believe the money I saved by calling after 11 p.m.
Really?
For sure.
I could save you even more money, Harold.
Oh, baby.
To save 5 to 50% on long distance before as well as after 11 p.m., call MCI and stop talking in someone else's sleep.
BG Fever, 7:30 tonight.
Geraldine,
Oh, there you are, dear. Where have you been?
I went to the store to get Skylar some lunch.
Well, where is he?
Well, he's out tailing Peter Nevins, and he wanted a sandwich, so liverwurst on rye.
Surely you can find something more interesting in that refrigerator than liverwurst on rye. There are all kinds of things out there.
Yeah, I guess so.
Raven, what's wrong?
Walter Gantz once told us that he thought he saw a green van following him, and I can't be certain. But I swear there was a green van following me home from the market.
Well, hello.
Hello.
Oh, now really, son, why did you have to drag Jody into this for?
Because it was just as much her decision as it was mine.
What do you mean? What decision?
Whether or not we turn you over to the cops.
Skylar following Peter Nevins, someone following you. I don't like any of it.
Well, I'm not sure that I saw it following me. It's just that I... Oh, it's you.
You bet your boots it's us.
I should say so.
I don't think you know my husband's aunt, Mrs. Saxon. This is Mr. and Mrs. Earl.
Oh, yes. How do you do?
Hello there.
Well, hi. We sure heard a lot about you, Mrs. Saxon. But frankly, I can understand how a woman of your caliber could come from the same family as Sky and Raven Whitney.
I beg your pardon.
I should think you would.
Well, what seems to be the trouble?
I'd just like to know what they're trying to pull now is all. The workmen at our house were stripping the walls in the study, and they turned up these doodads.
What are those?
More bugs. Only not termites this time. These are electronic.
The Edge of Night is brought to you by Head & Shoulders, available in regular and conditioning formulas. And by Tide. From ice cream to mud, Tide gets it clean.
How far does a mom have to go to see her kids clean?
All the way to Tide Country.
Where a toughest test of clean is below the age of 10, and the same clothes get dirty over and over again. My extra action kid needs an extra action Tide. Kids can be tough all around. Even Pink and Sweet has trouble keeping neat, so go ahead and splotch them, flash them, splatter them. Claim your spot. Tide gets it clean. Tide's America's favorite. From ice cream to mud, Tide'll tough clean it. You've just seen it. Now, here's your joy and pride. Same kids, same clothes, spanking clean with Tide.
An extra action kid needs an extra action Tide. Tide Country!
Claim your spot. Tide gets it clean.
Put your head on my shoulder. Hold me in your arms, baby. Put your head on my shoulder.
These beautiful moments were made possible by Head & Shoulders, the shampoo for the two of you.
Put your head on my shoulder.
I don't know anything about electronic surveillance, and I'm certain that my husband doesn't either.
Oh, no. Well, I'll be darned if Gunther Wag didn't take the job with us just so he could spy on us for the Whitneys.
Now, why don't we all sit down and discuss this calmly?
We'll stand.
Why would Gunther Wagner want to spy on you?
To listen in on my private business transactions with these.
Why, that's absurd.
Why would he want to do that?
You just come down off your high horse, little lady. We saw on the WMON news that you're flat busted.
Why, it's all over town.
And then some. Now we know why you had to sell the house.
Really, I don't get your point, Mr. Earl. Why do you think that my nephew would have the slightest interest in anything that happens in your home?
Well, I figure that Whitney planted these bugs in our walls because he knows I'm a smart businessman and he wanted to cash in on my investment strategy.
Thank heaven Skylar is not around to hear this.
Well, you can tell Whitney if he thinks he can recover the money he let get away from him by listening in on my business deals, he's got another thing coming.
Don't forget to mention the law, Bunny.
Thanks, Dad. I was coming to that. You can tell Sky there's a law in this country against electronic surveillance. You tell him that nobody bugs me and gets away with it.
Spying is illegal.
I already said that, Di. Let's go.
Oh, Gavin. How are you?
Okay.
You, come to turn yourself in?
I feel just like that, believe me.
Hey, I was only kidding. What's troubling you anyway?
Guilt. I came to apologize for opening my big mouth and telling Dee Dee about your divorce.
Oh, that.
I'm sorry, I really didn't know you hadn't told her.
Look, come off it. Nobody is blaming you. It's my own fault for not leveling with Dee Dee. I, just couldn't.
How come?
Because my, divorce from Star means that, Dee Dee and I are free to get married.
Isn't that the idea?
Gavin, what Star did to me still hurts, you know? And when I got those divorce papers the other day, it just brought all that hurt back, and I don't want to go through it again.
Dee Dee and Star are two different people. It's not fair to judge one by the other's
Hey, I'm
actions.
not judging anybody. Look, I don't see you jumping into another relationship now that you and Jody are... Never mind.
No, you're right. There needs to be some time for healing, doesn't there?
Yeah, and I, somehow just didn't heal. I don't know, maybe it was because Dee Dee became a part of my life before the final break with Star. I guess that just blunted the pain or something.
What about the pain you're going through because you and Dee Dee broke up?
Yeah, well, I never wanted that. But, now that it's happened, I don't know. I guess I'm just gonna have to take the time to work it out, that's all.
Oh, now look-a-here. I realize that my presence requires some explanation.
Okay, well, you could say that.
Well, I didn't want to come back here. I really didn't. But I had no choice.
Oh, you two look guilty as hell. You know, I got a lot of expensive property down here. I don't want to see something else turning up missing.
Hey, why don't you shove that talk, huh, man?
Oh, wait, I got... Of course, I got it. You two came down here in a little, hanky-panky, huh?
Hanky-panky? Can you believe this dude?
Hey, you know, I remember a lady lion tamer once. I was maybe 14 years old. She was 35. Well, anyway, one of the cages was empty and lots of straw.
Gunther!
Well, come on, I was just being romantic. No, this is what I came down here for.
Doesn't match your eyes.
Did you find those missing suits?
Not yet, but I think I know where I can.
You just make sure you do. And listen, the two of you, you do your hanky-panky on your own time, okay?
You know, that story that he was telling, it kind of reminded me of a young lady that I knew in Tulsa.
Put that in your diary, okay? Let's get to this past week.
You know, it's kind of funny, but I was going to get to that. The truth is, I didn't want to bring any more trouble down on you two. I was thinking about leaving town.
Well, you didn't get too far.
Well, I tried to leave, but somebody spotted me at the bus station.
Oh, great.
Well, don't worry. I gave him the old buffalo shuffle. You remember how that trick worked, John?
Yeah, I know. The department store gag. In the front door and out the side.
Yeah, well, I tell you, I realized then that Monticello is crawling with informers like ants at a picnic.
You know something?
Yeah.
For a stranger in town, Markham's got lots of friends.
Markham?
Yeah.
Is that his name?
Yeah, the cops are after him. Now, go on.
Well, naturally. Well, the only thing I could do was come back here to the theater to hide. You know, son, I feel kind of safe here. But, well, I didn't want to let on like I was back, because you two have been through enough on my account.
Ask you something.
Yeah.
Did you steal Gunther's breakfast?
I was hungry.
And Gavin's cushion?
Now, look. You see that little straight chair there? Well, that's mighty uncomfortable without something to pad it for these poor old bones of mine.
Okay, come here. Yeah. I knew it. You know, I knew I'd find these in here.
Ooh, those.
You know, if you were planning on hiding out here for so long, what are we going to do with these nice dress suits?
Need any help?
Oh, the movers are here. I'm still packing. I have a headache, and I can't find the aspirin.
Take my Bufferin. Plain aspirin's smart, but it can upset your stomach. Taking Bufferin is smarter. It's a special kind of aspirin pain reliever. Look, some stomachs can be delicate, like this crystal, and plain aspirin can upset them. Bufferin gives aspirin relief, plus special buffers that help protect against stomach upset. How do you feel now?
A lot smarter.
Bufferin is smarter. Also an extra strength.
I took Rolaids for 10 years. Now I get better relief from Tempo.
With Tempo, no more Tums.
It took remarkable Tempo to make these heartburn and gas sufferers switch.
Tempo's soft, not hard and chalky. So it dissolves fast, fights acid and gas.
And the soft Tempo form holds more medicine than the leading tablet. 75% more acid-relieving medicine.
Better relief than Rolaids or Tums.
Switch to better relief. Switch to soft Tempo.
You just gotta understand, son. This tiny little room here was too much like my old prison cell. I was going stir-crazy in here. So I went out a couple of times, that's all.
Well, that was a pretty stupid thing to do.
Yeah, but you see, all I could think of was that this Markham, the last place he'd think of looking for me was a fancy restaurant. And only trouble was, I left all my duds in that hotel when I went out on the fire escape that day.
You see, he's left a lot of hotels by the fire escape.
Well, it's one of the inconveniences of my profession.
Del, Preacher was almost flattened by a sandbag the other day. Now, that was not an accident.
Well, Markham is not stupid. He knows that you and Jody saved my neck more than once.
You got to go to the cops.
Son, what are you saying?
I'm out of ideas, okay?
If I go to the police, it's like me putting a bullseye around my heart and telling Markham to fire away.
Jody?
Oh, he's right. If he goes now, he's going to be in more danger than ever.
You got one bright young lady here, Johnny.
Don't tell me about it, I know, okay? There's one thing we're going to do. We're going to set the ground rules straight here and now. Okay? How the hell you been getting in and out of this theater so easy?
Oh, I picked your pocket a while back, and I had one of these duplicate keys made.
Give me that. It's your last chance, Del. You just stay put or we're going to send you to the cops. Look, smile at me and shake your head like you understand.
Well, of course I do. Look, I won't move an inch. You can depend on that.
Come on. You stay put, all right?
Yes.
talk to Burnett for tomorrow. Hope that maybe he'll turn state's evidence.
Yeah, you think you'll agree?
With any luck? Yes. Now, Chris tells me you spoke to Larry Hooten, the husband of the makeup artist.
Yeah, I think they're pretty much in the clear. I mean, I just don't see how either of them could have been involved in either Nicole or Gantz's murder. Anyway, Hooten was doing a long haul to the West Coast the day that Gantz got killed.
Well, I still can't get it out of my head that these two crimes are connected somehow.
Well, I agree, but how?
I don't know. You're going to have to find a connection. Right now, the evidence is just suggestive. But the WMA1 phone number that Chris found at Walter Gantz's office, that makes me think that his mysterious second case must have something to do with Nicole's murder. But I need something concrete.
Yeah, Raven and Sky snooping around WMA1 would have seemed to have been significant, but if they know something, they're not sharing it.
Gavin, what is this world coming to? Sky and Raven are being less and less cooperative about this Walter Gantz case. Jody Travis is obviously hiding something in the E.J. Pine case. How do they expect us to solve crimes if they don't want to cooperate, huh?
You got me.
Hey, don't lose that. It's a problem.
Hey, you know that girl that's one of the Speakeasy's chorus girls?
Which one?
Claire.
Down, Gunther.
Hey, preacher comes through in the clutch again. I found the suits.
Yeah, where?
Well, see, my filing system failed, and I'd forgotten that I put them in this trunk, and that's where I found them.
Figures. You didn't happen to run across my cushion, did you?
No. And you know, I didn't run across your breakfast either.
Figures.
Did you replace the sandbag?
Sure thing.
Hey, what happened there anyway? And I don't like losing those new ropes. Well, I mean, they cost a lot of money.
Those were new ropes, weren't they?
Yeah, I can't figure it out. But I'll tell you one thing. From here on in, there's going to be no more accidents around here. And I'm going to see to that.
My hero.
Do you fry with margarine? Then you should know about new butter flavor Crisco, because it's better for frying. Look, it doesn't scorch like most margarines, and you can see what that means when you fry eggs. More important, butter flavor Crisco gives fried food more butter flavor than margarine. A flavor so rich, there's only one word for it.
Butter.
Yeah, that's our word for it. New butter flavor Crisco could make frying with margarine obsolete. Now there are two great Criscos.
Mrs. Powell never tried Charmin. Watch me get her. Look out!
Oh, what is this?
Charmin. It just slipped. Oh. Haven't you ever tried it?
No. Is it soft?
Squeeze it.
It is soft.
And?
And cushiony.
And?
And squeezable.
Gotcha. See? Just squeeze the Charmin, and I got you.
Charmin. The squeezing gets you, the softness keeps you.
Time to pin the tail on the donkey!
Wrong, Mom.
It's time for the Pringles jingle. Huh? Once you taste the flavor, then you get the fever, then you got the fever for the flavor of a Pringles. Once you taste the fluffer,
You need help.
Once you taste the flavor, then you get the fever. Then you got the fever for the flavor of a Pringles. Yeah! Once you taste the flavor, it's the deep fried taste. Then you get the fever. It's the crispy crunch. Then you got the fever for the flavor of a Pringles. Wait till you taste Pringles now.
Trendsetters Sports Shop. No, don't worry, I'll find it. Okay, if you can just hang on for half an hour longer, I'll have food on the way. Okay, bye-bye.
How is Schuyler's surveillance of Peter Nevins coming along?
Schuyler has spent the entire day trailing him to every men's shop in Monticello, while Nevins has spent the entire day buying white shirts and blue sports jackets, and I would never trust anyone that dresses like a politician.
Raven, I suppose you have considered the implications of those listening devices the Earls found in Schuyler's study.
Yes, I have, and I just talked to Sky about it. It's obvious now how this Nevins source got his information about us losing our fortune.
There must have been 1,000 opportunities to install them, but when?
I don't know. For him to know so much about Spencer's plans, these little buggers must have been planted months ago, and that was long before we lost our money.
There's something frightening about that possibility.
I know. How come our study was bugged so long ago? It's bizarre. Anyway, Schuyler is waiting. Spying is a hungry business.
Did you find a substitute for liverwurst on rye?
Yes, I certainly did, thank you. I have some of your pâté, some gruyere, some croissants, and a split of champagne, you know, just the necessities.
Eric, I don't mean to crowd you, but it has been over a month. Haven't you got anything new in your investigation of Nicole's death?
Well, yeah, I've been meaning to bring you up to date. Yes, I'll tell you that I think the message written on Nicole's mirror was just a smokescreen.
Why?
Because for me to buy that at face value, I'd have to buy a deranged killer who was lucky enough to come in through the MON doors, left unlocked by Stan Hathaway, who was lucky enough to be able to go into Nicole's dressing room unnoticed and take the makeup during the day.
You don't believe in lucky murderers, is that it?
No, I don't. Everything else in this crime was so carefully planned, I can't see this killer leaving anything to chance. I think he could hang around Nicole's dressing room unnoticed because he had every right to be there.
Then the killer or an accomplice must work at WMON.
That just leaves me 124 suspects, doesn't it? Well, I've been checking them off one by one as they come up with alibis for the crucial times.
Only 3 people admitted to being in the building the night when the makeup was exchanged. Stan Hathaway, Geraldine Saxon, and Peter Nevins. It's got to be one of those 3.
No, it doesn't, my friend. I'm sorry. We can thank David Cameron for the fact that we know just how many hiding places there are in that studio. That's why I'm going over that WMON staff so very carefully, and all friends and all relatives. Now, there's a joker hiding in the deck somewhere. The only way to find him is to find a clear-cut motive for Nicole's death.
You know, it's kind of interesting, but being around the theater like this, it reminds me of my own performing days. Well, I realize I shouldn't say that myself, but I had a flair for acting and for impersonating right from the start.
Yeah. Somewhere down the road, your talents took a wrong turn, Dale.
I know. I tried putting it on the straight a couple of times, but I never could make any headway that way.
It isn't too late.
I don't know, Jody. Maybe it is. You know, it's a hard road to make a U-turn on once you started down it. Nowadays, I can't seem to help myself.
Maybe you just don't try.
I'm sorry, John, that I brought all this trouble on you and Jody. Got you 2 kids in such a dangerous spot.
Hey, like you said, man, maybe you just can't help yourself, huh? Hey, eat your sandwich. Stay put. Come on, Jody, let's go.
I am here for the night now. You can be certain of that.
Okay.
Good night.
Goodbye, my dear. Thank you, John. Thank you for everything.
All right. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Delicious. Look what happens when Swift wraps the finest white meat chicken around the most delectable fillings in the world. You get the Swift International Entree, an incredibly delicious Swift International Entree dinner. Swift wraps fine white meat chicken around the world's most delicious fillings. So all you need is an oven, 30 minutes, and a taste for finer things. The Swift International Entree. Something this good shouldn't be so easy.
Put on a Windex shine, spray sunshine.
Stop! Now there's a better way to clean greasy windows.
Better than Windex?
New improved Windex cuts grease better than any leading glass cleaner.
We'll dip this window in improved Windex. See? It cut right through the grease even before wiping.
New improved Windex really works. Beautiful. Spray sunshine all over the place. Put on
shine. Great day in the morning, in the afternoon.
On Loving.
It's very nice to meet you, Jack.
You too.
Jack and Lily, finding each other and falling in love.
I don't want you to be afraid of anything.
Loving, weekdays.
Hello.
Geraldine, my dear, Giles Etheridge here.
Oh, yes, Giles. How are you?
Splendid. I apologize for ringing you so late, but sometimes I have a little difficulty getting to a telephone.
I understand. I have busy days like that myself.
I was wondering if you would consent to lunching with me tomorrow.
How very nice. Yes, I'd like that.
12:30 be satisfactory? I'll have my driver drop me off at the station.
Lovely. Giles, I was wondering if you have resolved your business difficulties as yet. I'm only asking because I'd like to help if I can.
You are too kind, dear lady. But if you'll forgive me, I'd rather not go into it just now.
Well, please don't hesitate to ask if you do need help. All right, my dear, I'll see you then. Bye. Oh, Raven, you've been gone such a long time. My dear girl, you look dreadful. What is it? Did Peter Nevin spot Skylar?
No.
What then?
I was looking in my rearview mirror on the way home. And all the way back to the hotel, I was followed by a green van.
I've got a confession to make. I've always loved the freshness of Tic Tac. But when Sugar Freeze came along, I figured I'd give up some of that freshness to get fewer calories. Know what? I was wrong. Sugar-free mints aren't lower in calories. They have 7, even 9 calories per mint. And a Tic Tac has just 1.5. So I'm staying with Tic Tac. Because to get fewer calories, I don't have to give up taste or freshness or nothing. Tic Tac, the 1.5 calorie breath mint.
Here's Lipton tea lover Don Meredith.
Now there's a different way to make iced tea. Lipton Sun Tea. Just brew it in the sun. It's easy. You take 9 flow-through tea bags and put them in a gallon of cold water. Set it in the sun for about 3 or 4 hours. That old sun makes iced tea so smooth and clear, brings out every drop of flavor in Lipton's quality blend. Smooth and clear Sun Tea with Lipton flow-through tea bags. Dandy tasting.
My half-hour comedy hour.
You got it, Stevie Wonder. You'll be the sunshine of laughter on the half-hour comedy hour. Tonight, with guests James Coburn, Lindsay Wagner, and John Schneider.
Tonight, Joni's torn between a family engagement and a chance to perform for a record producer on Joni Loves Chachi. Then, following Three's Company, a computer error on her paycheck makes Judy richer on 9 to 5. After, Jonathan and Jennifer put the heat on a plastic surgeon who's victimizing rich widows on Heart to Heart. Tension, unrest, good news, hard times, protest, peace. We'll bring you your world with Peter Jennings in Washington and Max Robinson in Chicago, weeknights on ABC's World News Tonight.
Iceberg lettuce makes more salads than you can shake a stick at.
Lettuce entertains you.
California iceberg lettuce.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Ernie Anastas. Coming up today on the 5 o'clock Eyewitness News, a Manhattan man files a whopper of a lawsuit against Burger King. We'll tell you why, and we'll also have this report.
What do Dick Cavett and I have in common, besides our love of witty conversation?
Witness News.